Hello there, my beautiful Scorpios. Welcome. Today we're going to do a love reading for all of you beautiful Scorpios out there, love and relationships. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy that you are here with me today. And for those of you returning Scorpios, welcome back. And thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate your presence here today. All right, Scorpio, this is a general love reading. So if you find that these messages do not resonate with your situation, do not panic, Scorpio. That just simply means that you need to go ahead and click that subscribe button and mash the notification bell, because your message will be dropping very shortly and you don't want to miss it. All right, Spirit, let's get some messages on the board for my beautiful Scorpio souls. What can they expect in by way of love and romance, and any warnings that you have for them that they need to take heed. Give that to us now, Spirit. And I apologize, everyone, for any background noises you may be hearing. I live in the city and it's impossible to block out all the city noises. And of course, as soon as I start recording, the landscapers are downstairs, and I don't know what kind of tools they're using, but they are loud as hell. All right, let's get these messages on the board for my Scorpios. We're going to start with some oracle card messages for you. The first one is soul loss. The second message comes by way of forest bathing, followed by ivy. All right, so let us take a deeper dive into these messages. So Scorpio, soul loss talks about feeling a deep sense or a loss of identity. It can talk about feeling unable to make changes in your situation. It can talk about powerlessness, and it's a feeling, it's an experience that is deeply rooted in trauma and requires that you look at what your triggers are. And it also, the deeper meaning of this card is that when you experience a trauma, it causes a separation of your soul from your physical body. That's the message, the true message behind soul loss. It also speaks to the fact that small traumas can cause like micro tears, which eventually, once you rack up enough small traumas, you have that same loss of connection between the soul and the body and the physical body. So that is what it's talking about here. And it's talking about doing the work on yourself, in order to feel whole again. But it also advises you towards grounding and self-care, right? It's talking about the fact that the physical and the spiritual are always connected, and you can find the connections here in your personal world through connections for what you see outward. So I know that made no sense. Spirit is like rushing a download through me and I'm trying to keep up, so I apologize, but let me make this make more sense. So the spiritual principle of what is within is without. So what you see on the inside of your body, your soul, your spirit, what is happening there is also reflected outside of you in your physical 3D world, okay? But the same is true of the way you want to reconnect your spirit back to your physical body is the same way that the earth connects to the divine. So you can use the physical earth as a stand-in for your physical body and do this work. So that talks about going out in nature, walking barefoot in the grass, getting away from the concrete of the city, and stepping into some actual sand at a beach, and connecting with the water. It talks about taking a walk through a park and connecting with the earth beneath your feet. It talks about staring into the clouds and just allowing the messages to wash over you. It talks about hugging trees, all that kind of thing. Believe it or not, will help you, especially if you have faced major traumas in your life, right? It helps to ground you. It talks about self-care and the way that you're taking care of your body and taking the time to do those things that just give you an overall good feeling, right? So this is what's being called for, some work to repair those connections. And if you think you don't have time for it, seriously, sometimes I urge you to rethink that, because sometimes it's just a change from what you're used to and what you automatically do on autopilot, right? So instead of taking that lunch break inside your office, stepping outside. I mean, you don't have to leave the city and drive a half hour to get out into the country. You just have to step into a city park and have your lunch there. Step into an area that you're different with, where maybe you go to a botanical garden and you just take a 10-minute walk through. Just changing the things that you do on autopilot will give you the time to get these things done, okay? Because we're all busy. All right. I know you're tuned in for love, and I promise you this is getting back around to it. And you're going to be especially happy when you see the message behind this card. So, forest bathing is the next message coming forward. And again, this is spirit hammering home its message about getting out into nature and connecting with the spirits. And in particular, this card talks about the spirits of the forest, because those trees are wise elders that do have spirits. These plants and the things around you do have spirit in them, right? And basically, self-care is the theme of this card overall. So there's a double dose of self-care needed on your part, Scorpio. Whether you're going to get a massage, whether you sit in meditation, whatever it is, listening to your body's need to rest. Some of you are just running through your days and you're not sleeping well and you're not getting the proper rest. And maybe you need to look at how your bed is set up, your bedroom is set up. Do you need to change the direction of your bed in order to find more restful sleep? And you would be surprised, if you look at feng shui, how the direction of things in especially your bed can determine whether or not you get the sleep that you need. But this is taking a look at those things, right? And figuring out what works for you and making sure that you incorporate that. This reconnection of your soul to your body and the healing of this trauma. And for some of you, this is going to be talking to a therapist. This is going to be getting the help that you need to get through the damage caused by some dramatic, traumatic incident that has occurred. And that doesn't have to be expensive, because now we have so many outlets for therapy, online therapy, talk therapy, everything. So you can do this, Scorpio. Sometimes you have to reset your thinking and actually take a look at what's out there that you can take advantage of. All right. All right. So now we've come to Ivy. Beautiful card. And Ivy, really, if you look at what an ivy is, it's one of the easiest plants to grow. So people who don't even consider themselves to have a green thumb can do well with an ivy, right? Because ivy is this vine that just profusely grows, and if you've ever had one, you know that pretty soon it takes over the space that it's in and moves into other spaces. It is a vining plant that really, if you want to look at plants and assign them human type traits, ivy would be a plant that's very sociable. And this is what this card is calling for. It's talking about it's talking about new relationships and seeking new relationships. And this is the universe smiling down on you to tell you that this is your time, those of you who are wanting a new relationship, a new person in your life. This is the time to get out and let yourself shine, because the universe has this glow, this is the energetic time for you, Scorpio. Get out and mingle, because the new person will magnetically find you, is what the universe is saying here with this card. In the meantime, you want to be working on these things, but honestly, this is the time to get out and make new connections, right? And it's definitely talking about love connections, but it's also talking about just making new friendships and relationships of all sorts. So this is a special period of time for you, Scorpio, and you can't be hiding in the shadows of these traumatic events, keeping yourself locked up in the dark. You have to get out and mingle. So do this work. Ground yourself. Take care of yourself. Pamper yourself. Get that new haircut. Get that new outfit and get out there and really just let everyone see how wonderful you are. Okay? For those of you that are in relationships that you want to continue, or you're in a situation where you're trying to attract back a person that you were once connected with, ivy also signals this is a great period in time for that as well, because it is a time of deepening relationships. Okay, it's a time of, if you know, like the ivy vine, it wraps itself around other plants as it reaches out. So it's a good time to do that in your connections and bring them back in your direction. All right. So let's get some tarot on the board to clarify these messages that are coming forth from Spirit and the oracle cards here. And let me get some shuffles in so Spirit has a chance to line up the cards that they want on the board for you, Scorpio. While I take a moment to do this, this is the perfect time for you, Scorpio, to go ahead and hit that subscription button and mash the notification bell. I would love to have you as a part of my tribe. I'm building my channel, and Scorpio, I want you guys to be a major part of my tribe. All right. Wow, I got messages jumping all out the deck here. We're going to take a look at all of this. All right, Spirit, let's get these messages. Wow. Okay. Well, if the number 7 has been something you've been seeing lately, which is a highly spiritual number, by the way, this is showing up here in your reading as well. So we're clarifying this soul loss card with the 7 of Cups in reverse. And this is speaking to me about the fact that some trauma has come your way in a connection, in a relationship, due to either yourself or the other party feeling that they had other options in which they needed to pursue. Okay, so either you walked away from a connection that you're now sad You realize that that is not what you should have done. You walked away in favor of someone else, or someone has done this to you, Scorpio. This is what I'm seeing as a source of trauma for many of you in the relationship realm. Okay, this is something that you may be grieving, that you may be crying over, that you're feeling the loss of. For those of you who walked away from someone in favor of another option that did not work out in your favor, this is very much about forgiving yourself and taking a look at what it is that you really are looking for. Because, we have we should have our standards that we judge connections and relationships by. We should have those things that we say, this is what I'm looking for, and when I see this, then I know I've found my person, right? And so if you are lacking in a clear, defined knowledge of what those things are, if you're kind of just winging it, saying, oh, I'm going to know them when I see them, then this is urging you to really sit down and take a deeper look at and even write it out. Like these are the standards that I want in my next relationship. And this isn't really the superficial stuff. I'm not talking about he needs to be 6'3" and make six figures. I mean, yes, we want someone we are attracted to physically, and we want someone who, brings something to the table, right? We all want that. But that's more of a preference. This is a standard in the sense of, this person must treat me in a way that makes me feel loved and supported. There's no, that's the standard. No one can fall short of that standard. They have to treat me in a way in which I feel loved and supported. They cannot, this person cannot have addictions such as drinking, smoking, whatever. So you write out your standards, of those things that are must-haves in your connection, and then go back through your list, knock out anything that is superficial, and come up with a core list and memorize that list. Know that list, because knowing that list, Spirit is saying with this card, that person who is those things will be magnetized to you. And maybe that past person who is those things will be remagnetized to you. But what will fall away will be those who do not meet that criteria. Okay. Now, for those of you where someone else chose to be with another person and you walked away from you, this does talk about the healing of that, right? And it does talk about the fact that grounding yourself, being more in touch with yourself, actually doing the work of healing before you jump into your next connection is going to be what makes the change in this situation. Because once you heal on that deep level, what you're going to find reflected in your outside world, Scorpio, is that person is going to do a second take and a third take. They're going to notice on an energetic level, and they will be curious enough that they need to come check out what's happening with their Scorpio. Okay? All right. So we have forest bathing here being clarified by the Death card. And what this is signaling is you ending this cycle of just running through your life at 1,000 miles per hour, right? is ending a cycle of you not taking careful note of what is around you, what those things like that you fly by naturally. There's a sense here that you have not noticed the forest for the trees, that you have opportunity right in your backyard, literally, that you are not taking advantage of in the area of love. Like there may be a person right by you, maybe even at this very second, but there may be a person right by you who's right in your backyard, so to speak, that you are flying right past every day. This person definitely has noticed you. They would definitely like to get to know you better. But you seem to be so in your head and moving at such a fast pace that they don't even know how to get your attention. Okay? Through observing you, they're like, man, if Scorpio ever just sat down for a moment, I could walk over there and strike up a conversation. So this is a new person that may be right in your backyard that you're flying right past and you're not seeing them at all because your mind is going a million miles an hour. You've got this loss trauma thing going on in there. You've got your daily responsibilities. You've got, and I'm just really feeling like some of you have become more than ever a creature of routine. So you have your routines playing, and anything that takes you out of that routine on a daily basis is something that you're just chucking to the side. Spirit's saying, end that habitual ride through your habits. End being so focused up in here and open your eyes. You see her eyes are closed. Open your eyes and take a look around you with fresh eyes. What's going on? You're missing something. You're missing someone right in your vicinity. Okay? This person is close. You could reach out and touch them. I feel that very strongly. Open your eyes, Scorpio, because this is something that Spirit wants to present you with. This is someone that Spirit wants to present you with. All right. Let's move forward to Ivy, which is being clarified by the Seven of Wands in the reverse. And oh my gosh. So again, same message pretty much. This social connectedness that you need to start creating, that you need to start spending your time with. Drop your defenses against it. No, Scorpio, stop telling yourself that you are, that you want to be this hermit that sits in the house. Stop telling yourself that you have to go A, B, C, and D, and spend at least one day, one evening, maybe, whenever you get off work, spend a few hours, at least once a week, just kind of wandering. And what I mean by wandering is go out, sit at a bar, have dinner by yourself. You would be amazed how many people you can meet that way, right? You're by yourself because that makes you very approachable to the opposite sex, if that's what you're into. And you're not really truly by yourself. There are other people there. You can always look around. You can observe. And Scorpio, you like to observe people. That's one of your favorite pastimes. When's the last time you went out and observed people? Wander, Scorpio. If you absolutely have to be talking to someone during this time because you're nervous and you've not done this before, the bartenders talk to everybody. Just catch the ear of the bartender. You will find you have a little buddy there to chat with to get you over your nervousness. Wander, Scorpio, wander, okay? Because you can create these new connections. For some of you, I even feel as if you do this, you're going to run into that ex that you want to run into, and a very fruitful conversation will ensue. All right. They need to see you glowing in a different way is a very specific message coming through from Spirit. All right, so let's clarify these messages with more tarot, my clarifying deck. Let's get a little deeper here, Scorpio. All right. Wow. Okay. Scorpio, this is great. My gosh, this is awesome. All right, Scorpio, we're going to clarify these messages here with, guess what? The 10 of Cups. What? All right. So what Spirit is talking about here is, again, whatever you think that you've lost, you are in prime position, following Spirit's advice here so far. Following Spirit's advice and Spirit's lead. That's the qualifier. Whatever you feel as if you've lost here, you are in prime position to gain not only that, but so much more than you even imagined. Okay? 10 of Cups, man, that's the ultimate love and happiness card. Are you kidding me? Let's get to work on this, Scorpio, right away, because this is your 10 of Cups time. This is time for you to draw in your 10 of Cups experience. That experience that's going to stay with you for years and years to come. Not only building a tribe of people who love and support you, but finding and engaging that one who will love and support you. Scorpio, I mean, we got to go here. It's go time. It's go time, Scorpio. I think that's what I'm going to name this message. It is go time. All right, this message here is talking, or is clarified by the 5 of Pentacles. So 5 of Pentacles is, in clarifying this death card message, is the end of feeling out in the cold, the end of that cycle. This cycle of feeling out in the cold, this cycle of feeling unloved, this cycle of feeling lost, pain, hurt, betrayal, this cycle is ready to be closed out. And Spirit is like, let's close this shit out for good. For good. The death of it. Like the death of it, so that it does not return to your life. Let's get to it. Let's take care of yourself. Let's make sure we get into our self-care practices and we do not compromise on them. And let's end this whole thing of being stuck in our daily routines. Let's get to it. Let's end this. Let's close this out and say bye forever to the loss, the pain, the betrayal. All right. This message is being clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Some of you are going to get into this and you are going to find out that you're pregnant. There's a number of you, from what Spirit is showing me, that is stepping in and saying, you know, they're ready to start their family or expand their family. They're ready for this pregnancy. And there's a number of you who have experienced loss in this area of life, a loss of a pregnancy. And Spirit is ready to hand you that rainbow child that's ready to come through. All right. Again, this is about closing out the trauma of the past. Yes. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to lose a child. But if we can work on the pain there that's present, so that we can open the door for what's new and ready to come through to you. I mean, I can feel the spirit of presence trying to give you this, trying to help you with this, trying to bestow upon you this soul. Oh my gosh, I'm ready to cry and I can't start crying here, Scorpio. I think you get what I'm saying. It's time to get unstuck and move forward because spirit has so much. You have to know that spirit has so much to gift you with, so much to give you, so much to bestow upon you. All right? And you are worthy. You're so worthy of it all. Scorpio, this has been a beautiful reading. You've got some work to do. You've got some work to do, Scorpio. And the sooner you get at it, you don't even have to, we're not even talking about getting all the way through the work. You just need to move on it. You just need to get started. And spirit will come in and carry you the rest of the way. All right? You'll see things dramatically change. If these messages resonated with you, please go ahead and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you the next time, Scorpio. I look forward to seeing you bright and shining. All my love to you. Take care.